Hi guys, welcome back or welcome if you're new. My name is Tiana and I am the maker behind Also Stitched, and today we have a vlog style video. And honestly, that's just because I have nothing to show you. I am working on my big showpiece plushie and I feel like it's gonna take between 2 and 3 weeks to finish that one. What I wanna show you today, actually, I wanna go through one of these bags. Give me a second. Oof, that's a lot. So I have 3 bags full of plushies at the moment. One bag is full of my new plushies that's already in my Shopify, in my website. And I have 2 bags of my old plushies that I need to go through and put up on my website. And the reason I'm doing that, it's not just the website, is that I'm actually switching completely from Square to Shopify POS. Not just website, POS. I bought this last year in May before Supernova because I thought I'm gonna be prepared for Supernova. That never happened. So I actually turned this on and I'm surprised that battery is still doing pretty good since it was used last time in May. It was actually never used. I have never used it. I have tested it and it is beautiful. You know why? Because customers actually get to see the amount that they are paying for. That's my biggest pet peeve with this, because I charge on my phone and every time I have customer, I have to do it on the phone, then I have to turn it around, show them the price, because I want to be transparent. I'm never happy to just tap on this without showing customers the price. So I always turn my phone and I'm tired of doing that. But that's not the major reason why I'm switching to Shopify. It is a benefit that this is actually showing the price. The reason I'm actually switching completely to Shopify is inventory management. I am not someone who can do markets without inventory management just because of my personality. And I know not everyone is like me. I'm very much a type of person, data driven. I have everything in Excel sheets. I do my own accounting, I do my own finances, investments and things like that. I'm crazy, I know. So don't stress about this if this is not your problem. It's really a problem of me. And usually I had inventory in spreadsheets and I had in Square. From Square you can easily pull CSV data for anything, for any sales report, for your inventory. It is just not streamlined. And if I'm wasting so much time putting things into Square, I want it to be streamlined for me. I don't want to pay for it because it didn't give me enough benefits to pay for it, while Shopify is a lot more expensive, but it has more benefits, at least for me. I know Square can also have a website and yada yada yada. It is cheaper. If you want to go with the cheapest option, go with Square. It's still good, but it wasn't good enough for me. And also I'm gonna talk about another reason why I need website, and it is the markets, and I'll be into that in a second. So my goal for today is actually to go through my old stock, put it in Shopify while I'm chatting, but I can already tell you that won't be possible because I talk a lot with my hands. So I might chat first and then we'll go into the into the Shopify data input and everything like that. This is gonna be all over the place because I'm home alone. It is the first day of school. Everyone is officially in school. My daughter actually started on Friday, but this is such a weird day to start the first day of school, Friday. But she's in a private high school, so I don't know the reason behind that. But today is the first day of primary and public school, so my son is finally in school. It's not that I even saw them for the past 6 weeks. They were spending their time in their rooms and gaming with their friends online, but that's the life of teenagers, so oh well. But I'm free. I'm home alone. My husband is at work, so it feels different. I'm back to my old schedule routine and it feels good. If you can hear that sound, there is construction going on close to my house and there's nothing I can do about that, so I apologize. I'm not gonna wear my mic. I hate those micy things. Let's start with Shopify. What Shopify offers me is, first of all, website. Website is something that I don't necessarily need because I need to drive customers to my website, and people following me on my social media, which is, if we talk about Instagram, is 0 to none. YouTube is growing, thank you. For me to have a website to drive customers while most of the people following me are crocheters, it's useless. But I need a website for markets. You would be surprised. You will not get into markets that are curated for artisans or makers or anything that is handmade or even conventions if you don't have a legit good website. That was the first reason I started my website last year, because once you start applying for those type of markets, the first thing they're asking you is your website. Conventions will accept card, which I do have, but I don't like it. It is just your portfolio. They want to see your portfolio and you being the maker behind your brand. It is really important when you're proving that you are maker behind your brand that people can actually see you work. That's why YouTube channel is actually helping me, because I'm here talking about everything that I make weekly, showing my makes and talking about them, doing yarn shopping and going crazy about everything. So website is the most important things if you want to get into those types of market. And even then, sometimes it's not enough. I've been rejected from some really good handmade markets. We're talking about the markets that cost a couple of $1,000s just to exhibit at those markets. And I've been rejected because I wasn't good enough to fit their stall holder portfolio, whatever you want to call that. Building website was only to reach those markets because I am sick of small monthly markets and I'm no longer doing those. I've been doing markets for, this is my 5th year, and even last year I stopped doing all my monthly markets. Those are mostly outdoor markets and I have switched to only makers market. I did only one convention. I did my uni markets and I'm still keeping my uni markets. That is totally different and I'll talk about that. I did a couple of markets around the Christmas that were school and that was disaster. I'm no longer doing school markets. My goal this year is to focus on artisans and handmade markets where I don't have to compete with China crap, honestly. Crocheting coming from China, Temu and things like that is really taking over, and only really nice and curated markets will recognize that and do a proper selection of the artisans and handcrafters, and that's why I needed my website. And this website has been in the makes for, I started it in May last year, and then I abandoned it after Supernova because I did Supernova with Square while my inventory on website was on Shopify. And after having such a huge sales on Supernova, and honestly I was really tired to reconcile between the two platforms that I was using, and it was just too much. And that's why I'm switching from Square to Shopify so that all my inventory is in one place, and from there I can sell at markets, I can sell at website, I can sell at Etsy, I can sell at Instagram, Facebook, Google, and one day hopefully TikTok when it arrives to Australia, because it's been just prolonging. It's still not here, okay? And that's how easy it is. I assume there's even more platforms that you can push from Shopify that I don't know, or I don't even have to know. Even this was too much. I mean, selling on Instagram, you just need to tag your shop and products and that's it. I really don't expect sales to come through these platforms just because of my following that is 0 to none. But when it comes to Shopify, it is expensive. I'm not gonna lie. I paid around 660 Australian dollars for the full year because you get some discount. And I'm not even sure if I'm gonna make sales in that amount to recover that money. But that's not how I'm looking into Shopify. I'm looking into Shopify from the marketing perspective that is going to put me into markets that I wouldn't be able to get into without my website. For example, the artisan market, I applied and I got accepted. They wanted website, and if I didn't have website, I wouldn't be able to even apply for that market. I'll talk about that market in a second. Where was I? I'm losing my train of thoughts. I don't have a script. I don't have notes what I'm talking about, so I'll probably lose my train of thought a couple of times during today. It's Monday, you can tell. So once I'm fully in Shopify, I'm still gonna carry this for the first market that I have because I'm scared. I don't know how this is gonna work, how the connection is gonna be. If you have ever done markets, then you know your internet provider can work or cannot. That's why when I'm doing markets, I'm usually doing with my husband, and he has one internet provider while I have the other one because of the internet issues. You can have a lot of internet issues. I've been there and I have experienced a lot of them. And that is the scariest part, when you get to the market and you realize that your Square is not connecting to your mobile phone. Even this, it has nothing to do with Square. It is just in general this devices connecting to your mobile phone and your mobile data not working. That's why I like that me and my husband have two different providers, so that in case one is not working, the other will. That is a tip for you if you have issues with mobile phone providers. So as much as Shopify is expensive, I love it because of how detailed their reports are. Like I mentioned, I'm really a data-driven person. I have everything in spreadsheets, but not at the moment. I'm switching completely to Shopify so that I don't have to run my spreadsheets. When I go to analytics on Shopify, there is so much that you can get from this. It's an overwhelming how much you can get. I just pinned a couple of mines that I have created. At the moment, I have only $2,000 in my inventory, and that is just what I made since December, all the new plushies that I was putting and a couple of old ones. So I have 2 more bags to put into Shopify, and I assume I will be around $5,000, which is bad because I have convention coming and I want to have $10,000 plushie inventory, plus I will have embroidery for that convention. But the problem is, before that convention, I will have 2 artisan markets, 1 makers market, and probably 6 to 8 uni markets. And I'm honestly in a panic mode because even if I sell minimum at those markets, I don't have enough stock for convention, and I'm really panicking because I need to put myself into crochet mode, which lately I've been lazy. I've been crocheting only maybe 1 or 2 smaller plushies. That's a lie. I have not been crocheting. I've been procrastinating. I have started working on my showstopper, and I can already tell you that's gonna take me 2 to 3 weeks to finish it because it is massive and it hurts my hands. Every time I make a round, I need to rest my hands for 2 minutes because how ginormous that is. And I can tell you, I need to crochet more. This has been my obsession lately. I am knitting socks. Can you tell what I'm doing lately? Knitting socks, because I guess I'm in my sock era. And look at my latest one I did. I mean, they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy working on this. But that's not gonna bring me money to my business, and I need to stop wasting my time. I mean, I'm still gonna do this, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna knit because knitting is my only hobby that I have not monetized, unless you're looking into the beanies, but my beanies are part of my D-stash. Knitting is the only part of my hobby that I have not monetized, and when I'm doing it, I'm really doing it for pleasure of doing it. Everything that I have monetized my hobby, I got bored of doing it because I'm looking at it as a job, not longer as a hobby. I need to switch my mind, and I need to stop procrastinating with crocheting because okay, that is actually very loud now. I need to close the doors. And guess what? I'm making another charity blanket. Do I have time for this? No, but it makes me happy. I need to go back to crochet. I need to set myself goals that I'm gonna achieve daily, and I need to focus on smaller things. I have so many big plushies and I'm out of my small makes, which usually they bring money, usually they bring profit. And I hate making them, but I have to go. So I'm giving myself 2 or 3 days just to put this inventory into the Shopify, and that is just putting in inventory. I'm yet to tag everything. I'm gonna buy this shelving unit that everyone is using on the markets just because I need it for my uni markets. I hate building those cube grids because they hurt my hands so much, like so much. It is actually really easy to build it, but to disassemble it, it hurts a lot. And I'm gonna buy that foldable shelving unit just to give my hands some ease, because uni markets I'm doing every 2 weeks, while all the other markets I'm gonna actually need those cubes, because most of the artisan markets are one table and you have to go up high, and those cube shelves are perfect. But then my husband is there with me, so we are working together on those things and it's easier. But when I'm on my uni markets, I'm just by myself and it just hurts too much. So I'm switching to that new shelving. Also, I need to tag my products, but that's gonna be a future problem, which I only have a month because my first market is in March. I can't start tagging because this is how much tags I have, and I do my tags on Cricut and it is so annoying and so time consuming. But so I designed my tags on Canva, and this is all completely cut in Canva, even that dot on top. And then I use my barcodes. This is another benefit from the Shopify account. You get barcodes. And I wanted to make these tags a bit smaller because for some smaller plushies, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out how to print those barcodes too on this tiny sticker. And I went through so many of them. I wasted so much paper and I just couldn't figure it out. I used to have smaller tags like this. You can see the size difference between those two. And that was before I had barcodes. That was when I had these ones. This was before I had barcodes, but I had my SKU numbers, and then I would print them on a shipping label and then cut them, which was very time consuming and so annoying. So I could just stick them on the smaller tag. I really wanted to have these tags, 2 per one of these sticker, but I just couldn't figure the settings of Manbin printer and it was so annoying. I wasted so much stickers and I'm done with it. So I assume next week I will have to print and cut more of those tags. So once all of these plushies are in Shopify, I will be printing, cutting, creating barcodes. These are my old barcodes from some. Maybe I can reuse them. Yeah, maybe I can reuse them. You can see how I do my barcodes. For example, sloth. It is just, I have just shortened the sloth word. HT is hobby toucan. That just shows me which yarn I have used. And B is the color. If it's multicolor, I will put more letters, but it is just helping me to identify if I have 2 of the multiples. I just put the yarn that I have used, colors that I have used. It's just for me to recognize which products are selling, and that's why SKU code is useful for me, because it has the yarn that I have used, the colors that I have used, and I am creating my SKU codes on my own when I'm putting everything to Shopify. All of this is gonna happen in a couple of weeks because I need to be on top of everything before my first market, and It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. Let's talk about the markets. So when it comes to markets, I'm already booked for the year, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna look for anything else because first 6 months I'm already pre-booked and overwhelmed. So I'm having my uni markets that are starting in March, and they usually go till June. I'm not sure. We didn't get a full calendar for this semester. We usually get it, but we still didn't, which it doesn't matter. Usually when the market starts, every fortnight we have the next one, and I'm just not sure if it's gonna be 6, 8 or 10. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So uni markets are the easiest markets for me because I can do them on my own. I suffer social anxiety. I suffer a lot of anxieties. I suffer a lot of OCDs. And for me to do markets, I get triggered a lot. And uni market is the only market that I can do on my own. All of the other markets that I have done, I have my husband with me. And I'm gonna be honest, he's sick of markets. He is tired of doing markets. He hates doing them. And I understand him. I totally understand. Someone who is not passionate about this business is not enjoying spending 8-10 hours with me, because for him that is the waste of time. He gets tired. Usually markets are on Sunday, and then on Monday he has to go to work. Even if he works from home, he is exhausted. If you have done markets, you know how exhausting that can be, especially if you're a type of person who does sitting job. I mean, me crocheting and him doing his IT job, we are both sitting all day long. And when you go to market, when you need to physically pull everything out of the car, build and stand all day, it's a lot. I mean, I am shattered. The day after market, I'm usually shattered. So I don't blame him for not wanting to do more markets, and I'm okay with that. I was honestly also tired of doing monthly markets. I was tired of weather. Most of these markets are all weather, like, how do they call that? Rain or hail or shine? I don't know. They never get canceled. They never get canceled. And then if you cancel on them, then you get red stamp or whatever you want to call that. So I'm honestly tired of doing monthly markets. I didn't do any last year. Most of the markets we did was South Coast. Even though I'm from Sydney, the best markets that we have done, and I have done a lot of markets. I have tried everything in Sydney. Yes, I have tried even Cambridge markets that are so bloody expensive. South Coast markets, any South Coast market is really a good market. I have done Bulli, I have done Kayama, Berry, even Nowra, which Nowra was scary, guys. Nowra is, you know why. If you are from Australia, you know why Nowra is scary, and it was scary. But oh well. If you're looking for a good market, go down South Coast. You won't regret, but you have to be prepared for weather, because it is coast, it is windy, it is dusty, it is dirty. There is too many dogs. I love dogs. I have dog myself, but people walking their dogs on markets, they just don't care about their dogs. I had dogs pooping in the middle of my tent. I have dogs peeing on the tablecloths. I have dogs peeing on the leg of my gazebo, on my weights. And if you have ever had a dog pee in your stall, then you know once one has done his business, every single one of them will come to your stall and do his business. And that is so disgusting. That was my biggest pet peeve, seeing customers coming with their dogs into my stall. One of the reasons I also brought carpet into my stalls over time was to deter dogs, because you would be surprised, a lot of dogs don't like to step on the carpet. I had those plastic carpets that are used for camping, and dogs don't like that sensory feel. So that was a good thing. If you have issues with dogs, maybe try those carpets, because they are plastic and they are easily cleaned. Yeah, just doing outdoor markets, dealing with dogs, kids and weather, it was so annoying, and I'm really happy that I don't have to deal with that anymore. And bear in mind, this all comes down to my OCD, because I have a lot of OCD issues when it comes to cleanliness, and I have an obsessive hand washing issue, which is just something that I was raised like that. It's something that I've learned from my grandfather, and I cannot get over it. I'm obsessively clean, and I'm obsessively stressed about those things. So doing markets in the wind when there is dust all around and you are dealing with fabrics or yarn. My first business was scrunchies, and having everything in fabric and having a wind gust full of sand and dust covering all your scrunchies and now plushies, it is just too much. I don't know, all of that was too stressful for me. I don't know, I admire people who are not bothered by those things, but I was bothered too much, like really too much. And not to mention food, kids, snots. I mean, I can go on. And honestly, the type of market that I'm doing these days, for example, my uni markets are very slow market, but they can get really good in money just in an hour or two while the students are going for lunch, and that is enough for me. I'm happy to sit there 8 hours for only to have 1 hour of customer interaction and get enough money to satisfy yarn hauls, and that's it. Indoor markets this year I'll definitely priority. That's why I applied for artisans. Artisans are going indoors this year, and I'm looking forward to try those markets. I don't know what to expect with those markets. I know a couple of ladies who do those markets. I've met them at the makers market, and I assume it is a good market. It is completely handmade market, so I'm looking forward to try those. I'm doing makers market again. It can be hit and miss, but I'm still gonna continue. I have one convention booked this year, and I'm waiting for a couple of others. And last year I actually got accepted into the second convention, but they offered me half table. I assumed they had cancellation, and that just wasn't enough for me. I already have a lot of markets lined up, and I need to crochet more. So yeah, I'm really gonna regret if all of those markets are successful and convention comes and I have zero stock. I was actually thinking of even canceling convention if that happens, because I'm gonna do a separate video about the convention and what I'm doing this year, but that's gonna be a future video. Oh my god, it's already too late. I have half an hour before I need to go cooking and pick up my kids from school, and I have not even started yet. Maybe it's time for me to start working on this, because that's my biggest problem. I like to procrastinate things like that. As much as I'm data person and I love having everything in spreadsheets, things like this are very time consuming and they take forever, and I hate spending my time sitting on a computer. I would rather be knitting my socks. Okay, so let's talk about some of these plushies, because this plushie has turned its first birthday. I did her sometimes last year, and Highland cows were so popular. Everyone was doing Highland cows. Everything was Highland cows. It was honestly crazy. And this is my one and only Highland cow I have done, and she has already turned 1. And all the plushies that have turned 1 are ready for adoption. They no longer need their mommy and they can go home, and I don't want to hold on to them. I'm gonna heavily discount these plushies. I'm not sure if I'm gonna label them as clearance or sale or whatever, but I'm gonna have a one shelf dedicated to plushies that are too old for me to have them, and I just want them gone. When I made her, she was a lot of work. I mean, I think the hair, the horns, the ears, I think everything was just too much, and I did price her very high, and I have lowered the price since, and she's still not selling. I mean, she is cute and I just want her gone. And not just her, there are a couple of plushies that I have been struggling to sell, so I just kind of want them gone. I'm gonna probably price her $45 to sell her, to get rid of her, because it's been too long. She's been with me for too long. Let's go to Shopify. I'm just gonna do one product here while I'm chatting with you, just because this is so tedious and so boring. Usually I just open one of the most recent ones that I did. I duplicate it, I change the name, and that's it, and go from there. I used to have like a nice writing of all of my plushies, and I put so much time and effort in all of that, and I have realized that is so not necessary, and I'm not longer doing it. I only have everything is the same for every single plushie. The only thing I change are the dimensions. I have my measuring tape. We're gonna measure her and just put the approximate how tall she is, how wide she is, and I'm gonna just measure the widest point and hope that I have photos. I usually have photos of all of my plushies. If I don't, I will put her aside, and let me see. I know I have photos of her, but that's gonna be a challenge to find it because she is 1 year old, so who knows where those photos are. We need to scroll back for a year. That's a lot. Yes, I have photos. It's not the nicest. I'm just gonna put one for now, just because just so I can recognize her, and then I might take more photos later. And yeah, these photos are very bad, so I'll just have one for now and I'll come back to it. I'm gonna put price down to 45 and do my SKU. My SKU code and my barcode are the same, and then I have my scale here. The only reason why I am measuring the weight unit is for shipping. So whoever buys this online, Shopify will calculate the shipping based on the plushie weight. And that's it. She is done. And that's it. That is one done. Now I have to do all of this for the whole bag. And like I said, I only have a half an hour before I need to start my cooking. I will have more time while the lunch is simmering, so I really hope that I'll be able to finish this whole bag, at least put all the data into the products catalogs, and then maybe take pictures tomorrow and then input new pictures. And I'm not gonna keep you here while I'm doing this because this is too boring. I just wanted to chat a bit on this video why I'm doing Shopify this year, what markets I am doing, and I know this is a bit boring and different. I used to do more these vlog style videos when I started my channel, and I haven't done them ever since. I've been only doing like weekly makes sit down video, but I really have nothing to show you this week, guys. And the only thing I've been working is that big plushie, and I hope I will have him ready in 2 weeks from this video. I just hope. The problem with that plushie is not just crocheting. There is a lot of parts that goes into him that is not crochet related, and I tend to procrastinate those things. So we'll see how long it's gonna take me to finish it. I have started filming a project vlog for that plushie, so you will get to see the whole process of me making that one. That is it. I'm gonna work on my Shopify for the rest of the day, and probably even in the afternoon when I'm back from school run. I'm gonna try and push myself to at least make 2 or 3 small plushies. So that is my plan for the next year. I think that is it, guys. I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm gonna update you how this goes. I can't say that this is good because I have never used it. I have not tried it, but I'm looking forward to try this, and that's gonna be in a month once my first market is up and running. That is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy crafting.